some UFC fighters get to retire on top, undefeated, with, a perfect record, while others maybe get to retire on a knockout win. And then there's others who retire on a knockout loss and, they're crying their way home. But today we're going to be talking about some of these fighters that I think it's time to hang up the gloves, and you shouldn't even be probably fighting another fight. Okay, I know there's going to be a lot of controversial ones here, but these are genuinely guys who I don't think are going to win their next fight. And I'm sorry, even if they looked good maybe 2 years ago or a couple years ago, guys, this is the UFC. These are fighters. They age. They're not going to look too good anymore. They're not in their prime anymore, okay? So let's just start off with an obvious one. Tony Ferguson. This one we could all admit. This one, no controversy here. Tony, you need to hang it up, bro. It's honestly getting annoying at this point. I know Tony is, mentally not there, but why are you not retiring? And the bait where he took off one glove and, he left it in the octagon and he was like, listen, I'm going to need to talk to my team and we'll see if I end up retiring. But we haven't heard a word. As far as we know, this guy might still be fighting. So, dude, don't fight again. Don't fight again. Nobody wants to see you fight again. The fans were not cheering because they wanted to see you fight again. They were cheering because they thought you were retiring and they wanted to respect a legend, right? But, dude, Tony, we don't care to see you lose anymore. You're not going to beat anybody. There's not a single fighter on the planet who you can beat, and nobody wants to see you lose. Nobody wants to see you get knocked out again. Nobody wants to see you get submitted. You look slow. You look fucking bone dry. He looks bone dry in there, and he looks terrible, okay? So we don't want to see you in the octagon anymore. Let's not make it a fucking 16-fight losing streak. And yeah, Tony, you need to retire. Now let's move on to the next guy. Here's our first one that I don't know. There might be some guys in the comments that aren't going to agree with this, but I'm sorry. Gilbert Burns looked terrible, and I picked him, and he needs to retire. He needs to retire. I said this in my Gilbert Burns video, but dude, he's taken so much damage over the years. He's, 38 years old. He needs to retire. There's no fights over there. I know welterweight is the old man division. You got Wonder Boy, you got Burns, you got Usman, you got Colby, you got Jeff Neal, you got fucking Neil Magny, you got all these old heads. But guys, he's not going to win a fight. I'm sorry. I am a bit of a Burns fan. Not necessarily a super fan or anything, but, I'll root for Burns in a couple of his fights. But, dude, I'm sorry. He's not going to win any more fights. He looked terrible. He looked slow. He looked bone dry. He just looked fucking terrible in there, and he didn't want to fight. He genuinely didn't want to fight. He just wanted to make it out there, and he adopted the Herbert Burns method, right? His brother. It's like his brother and him have just been training together, and just learning how to quit mid-fight, learning how to not win a fight, because these guys don't look like they want to win fights, and fucking Gilbert looked terrible. We could actually throw Herbert Burns here too, but this is mainly Gilbert Burns. Gilbert looked terrible against Brady, and I know Brady, Brady's one of these guys who you might be saying is, bro, he's actually really good. You're just underestimating Brady, bro. Burns looking bad against Brady isn't even a bad thing. I don't care, because he did get knocked out by JDM, and it wasn't a good knockout. He was eating a lot of shots after on the ground, fucking getting fisted on the ground, okay? He was getting fisted on the ground. It's not a good look. It's just not, okay? It's just not their best look. And then 50-45 by Bilal Muhammad. I don't know where you go from here, bro. I don't know where you go. I think you should just retire at this age. I know you're going to say, 3-fight losing streak's not that bad, bro. Relax. And it's against the elite of the elite. Okay, bro, but you need to understand these guys age. He's taking a shit ton of damage in his fights. He's probably not going to win any more fights. And even if he does fight somebody, who the fuck do we want to see him fight? It would literally just be for money at that point. And it's not the best thing to see your fighter fighting for money, because they don't honestly have it in them anymore. He wants to get out of there. He wants to go in, get out, and just, that's it. He doesn't want to win. So, man, I have to throw Burns in this list. I know it might be a little controversial, but I'm sorry. He needs to retire. Next up, we got another victim from the old age home. He did fight on a fight night, because for some reason we like to match up fucking 50-year-olds against up-and-comers, which, I mean, it makes sense. It's the UFC, guys. We need to build up these prospects, but, dude, Jared, you need to retire, bro. It was a bad look. I picked against him because I knew his age was going to be a big factor in it. And, I mean, he actually looked good. Unlike Burns, who got 50-45 by Sean Brady, he was competitive, but it's the fact that he got knocked out, basically, and he got woken up by ground and pound. And, I mean, he is a bit chinny. He's always kind of been a bit chinny. Not always, but, he does wobble. He does wobble around in a lot of his fights. And I don't think it's a great look. He's literally 40 or 41 or something, right? Like, there's these up-and-comers who are coming up. What are they going to feed you to fucking the winner of Fluffy versus Michelle Pereira? Like, you're going to get killed again, bro. I'm sorry, but he looked great against Marvin Vettori a year ago. But at this point, it's a steep decline, right? That's the thing, is just because a fighter looked so good a year ago, they're not the same guy anymore because these guys fucking age, bro. And I honestly thought he looked good in the Mavov performance, and I thought he looked good, decent, pretty good actually, in the Barajo performance. But, dude, it gets to a point where you're taking too much damage, and I think it would be a good career choice for fucking Jared Cannonier to retire. This might be another one of those controversial ones, but guys, I'm not going to be pointing out the obvious here. I'm going to be going into the nitty-gritty. We're going into the nitty-gritty with these fighters. We're going to be deep diving into who should retire. And this isn't going to be fucking surface level. Not everyone's going to be Tony Ferguson, who we're all going to agree on. This is fucking something that we might not agree on. But dude, Jared Cannonier, despite the fact that he might win against a fucking can at the bottom of the rankings, it's not looking great, okay? He's taking a shit ton of damage. He's been fighting for a while at this point, and I don't like where it's going, man. I don't like where it's going. I think he needs to retire. And yeah, it's time to hang it up, Jared. It's time to hang it up, bro. I actually like him as well, so it's sad to see. But, dude, I don't know. Maybe one more fight and then 100% retire, even if it's a win. But, yeah. All right, the next person I think should retire, and I know this is going to be controversial again, is Usman, bro. And there's going to be the kid, there's going to be the guy in the comments who's saying, dude, you're jumping the gun too much. Usman's a beast. Usman's literally about to get a title shot. If Usman gets that title shot, first of all, it's going to be a complete disgrace because he does not deserve that after losing 3 of his last fights and losing to Leon twice. He does not deserve to fight Bilal. But if he fights Bilal, it's literally going to be like Usman versus Woodley, okay? It's going to be a shutout by Bilal. It probably is not going to be competitive because, dude, Usman is so fucking old at this point. He can't even walk. And I know he hasn't been able to walk for, whatever, 16 years now. I keep saying 16, but, you know, forever. He hasn't been able to walk forever properly, and he's fucking got the wobblestone cobblestone knees, like Lucas Tracy likes to say. Dude, this guy literally walks on grass and walks fucking backwards up the stairs because it hurts his knees so bad. So why should he still be fighting and putting that much pressure? He's literally going to be in a wheelchair at 50 years old because he can't fucking walk, bro. It's a bad look. It's terrible. And I don't think he's going to win against Bilal, bro. At that point, he'd be on a 4-fight losing streak. Who's he going to fight then? Who is he going to fight on a 4-fight losing streak? They're probably going to feed him to the fucking lambs. They'll feed him to some up-and-coming prospect. He'll lose that, and then he'll be on a 5-fight losing streak. I'm telling you, it is not good. These aren't fighters' age. Fighters' age. Like, please, realize that. I'm not hating on Prime Usman. I think Prime Usman is a fucking beast, but this isn't Prime Usman. He's well past his prime. You can at least admit that. He would probably lose to Bilal. Probably, even if you think it's a competitive fight, that's still a 4-fight losing streak, and at that point, you have to retire. And I honestly think if he doesn't retire now already, I think the best thing he could do is maybe fight Colby. They do like the trilogy match, and both of them retire, because I'm sick of these old heads being up there, bro. Like, Colby shouldn't be in the top 5 if he is still. I think he is. And Usman, dude, Usman's so fucking, bro, he's old. He's old. We need to get these guys out of there. We're not living in fucking, you know, sunshine and rainbows where our fighters don't age, bro. Fighters age, okay? So Usman, I'm guaranteeing you right now, he probably will not look good in his next performance. So, dude, if he does, you know, fair enough, he shouldn't retire or whatever, but I think he fights Colby and they both retire, and that's what it should be, bro. Also, if this is like one of your favorite fighters or anybody from this is your favorite fighter, take a fucking chill pill and don't get on my ass because I'm telling them to retire, bro. I'm not forcing these guys to retire. I'm just advising them and thinking that it's in their best interest to retire. And also, don't call me delusional because Kamaru Usman is on a 3-fight losing streak. I don't care what you think. I don't care if the last fight was a draw. Technically, he's on a 3-fight losing streak. That affects him mentally, okay? And he is old, and he's not the same. So don't call me delusional when I think that Usman should maybe fucking retire and call it quits, okay? Just relax, bro. Let me move on to the next guy. Edson Barboza, okay? Hopefully we can agree on this. I think this is one we can agree on. Now, I know he looked good against Sadiq Youssef, and everyone was picking him because of that, myself included. I was picking him against Lerone Murphy. Lerone Murphy, yeah. Lerone Murphy fucking 50-45. This guy, it looked bad. He looked slow. Barboza looked slow. He wasn't throwing anything. I forget. I think he wasn't throwing kicks at all. He looked terrible. Maybe he was injured going into it. But, dude, this guy's also old. He's just old. Fighters age. It's a very similar thing for all of these fighters where they're on losing streaks and they're looking old. And in their last performance, they didn't look too good. I know he looks shredded here and he looks like, bro, this guy's a beast. He's old as fuck. Who is he going to win? Who is he going to beat? Who is he going to beat? Tell me right now who he's going to be that's relevant, that we, for some reason, need to see Edson Barboza fight so bad. I remember a couple months ago, people were saying, I want Barboza versus Josh Emmett. Imagine that fight now. I don't want to see that fight now. I don't want to see that fight now. Nobody wants to see that fight now. I think it's best for Barboza to retire, bro. Okay, we don't need to use these fighters as our toys, bro. They get to a point where they're past, they're old. They're in their old age. I think his next fight's probably going to be a loss, bro. I'm sorry. They're going to feed him against a prospect. They're going to build up some fucking prospect, some killer prospect on the rise. Maybe they do like Gene Silva versus Barboza. That's not going to be good. That is not going to be good. So I'm sorry, bro. Like, I'd advise him to retire, bro. I know we're all, Barboza, bro, he's a fucking killer. And he's not a killer anymore. He's not a killer. This isn't 2007, bro. He's not a killer anymore. So let's just chill and let's admit that when a fighter's aging and he looked shit in his last performance and genuinely looked injured, I don't think he should be fighting, okay? I don't think he should be fighting. This guy's going to get fucking pushed over by the wind and he'll break a bone. Like, dude, we need to chill. We need to chill. Barboza, retire at least after your next fight. Please, okay? All right, here's one that we should all agree on. Tai Tuivasa. I know he's not necessarily 55 years old, but, dude, you're on like a fucking, 5-fight losing streak at this point? Is it not a 5-fight losing streak? Yeah, he's on a 5-fight losing streak, 4 of which were finishes, and I don't know who he's going to beat. I am not picking him. I think I picked him just because I thought, he might fucking be able to pull it off against Rosenstrike, and I'm glad Rosenstrike won that fight because Rosenstrike is somebody with discipline who actually wants to fight and who's actually interested in, grinding back to the title, or like even near the title, I mean. Even though he probably won't get there, but at least he's interested in becoming a champ and interested in, grinding and winning fights. Tai Tuivasa is interested in fucking eating Taco Bell. Okay, he's interested in eating Taco Bell, making a little bit of cheddar on the side. And that's it. He doesn't care about winning a fight. He'll just go out there and hope that he gets that big knockout. Otherwise, he's at we've seen him at Planet Fitness, fucking walking on the treadmill. That's his training. That's his big training camp, He'll be on Embedded saying, yeah, I had one of the best training camps of my life, this training camp. And it's just him walking fucking 2 miles a day on the treadmill. Like, bro, seriously, it's time to retire. You're not going to win any more of your fights. I'm honestly surprised he hasn't been cut by now because I know you're going to say, Tuivasa is a big star. But if you're looking at this objectively, and I think most people would agree also, it's time. It's time for Tai Tuivasa to retire. He's gonna lose his next fight. Guaranteed. Whoever the fuck they match him against, it would be a miracle if he beat them. So, retire. Fair enough. It's obvious at this point he's fighting for money. So, I guess don't retire if you're willing to take more damage. But, bro, it's just, you need to hang it up, bro. Put up the gloves. It's over for you, bro. Somebody who you might have not thought of, but definitely should retire, in my opinion, is Luque. Now, he looked god-awful against Buckley. He fucking wilted and quit. And I just don't think he's the same guy since the fucking brain bleed. The brain bleed against Jeff Neal, bro. It's bad. It is bad, okay? It's obvious to me he's not the same guy. He literally just quit. He quit in the Buckley fight. It looked terrible. It looked god-awful. He accepted the ground and pound and just got finished. I mean, him versus Nick Diaz is going to be terrible. It's going to be a terrible fight. He'll probably win it, so maybe he shouldn't retire because he could just get a free win off Nick Diaz, who also should retire. But I don't even consider Nick to be in the UFC anymore, so I'm not going to put him here. But, dude, I don't know what the fuck he's doing fighting anymore. That's actually disgusting, though. Like, having a brain bleed and then, dude, I feel bad for Luque, honestly, but just something's wrong with him, bro. Like, genuinely, something is bad. Something's wrong with him. He just quit instantly at the first sign of adversity, so I don't know. Him versus Nick Diaz, they'll probably both fucking kick each other and fall on the ground and just fucking lay there. And that's going to be it. It's going to be a fucking draw or some shit. Like, I don't know what the fuck Luque is doing anymore fighting after getting a brain bleed, bro. Maybe I'm hyping up the brain bleed too much. Maybe I got some doctor in the comments who's saying, actually, brain bleed's not even that bad, bro. But, dude, it's fucking disgusting to even think about. Just, oh my god, bro. But, like, Luque, bro, I don't know who the fuck he's going to fight anymore. He's still ranked, isn't he? Somehow still ranked or some shit, or maybe he's like really at the bottom of the rankings. But regardless, bro, welterweight, even people, I'll say this about welterweight, people that are unranked at welterweight, there are good people unranked at welterweight. So I don't know who the fuck he's going to beat. Obviously, Nick Diaz, maybe, because Nick is like 65 years old and should not even step foot in an octagon. But for some reason, they're still trying to make that match, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, get a win against win against Nick Diaz. But after that, bro, do not fight anybody unless you genuinely don't care about your health, because he's fucked, bro. Luque is genuinely fucked. And he's also in the welterweight retirement home, which, you know, it's so weird how there's genuinely so many fucking... He's only 32. He's only 32. So wait, he's not even in the retirement home, but he just fights like he is. So he's going to make his way towards that old man home very early. You know, only at 33 years old, this guy's going to have a fucking executive spot at the old man home. But dude, I don't like where it's going for Luque. I think he should hang it up. And yeah, I don't fucking like where it's going. Okay, for our last guy, oh my god, I know there's going to be a kid in the comments, bro. Conor McGregor is not the same guy anymore. Conor is not the fucking same. He should not be fighting. He's not going to beat Chandler, bro. It would be a miracle if he beats Chandler. I want him to beat Chandler, but it would genuinely have to be a miracle, assuming he's still even going to fight Chandler. But, dude, he needs to retire. He's not going to go on this miraculous title run that some of these Conor fans think he's going to do. They think he's going to knock out Chandler in the first round with his perfect left hand, and then they think he's going to get a title shot off of that and knock out Islam. That's not going to happen. You're living in a fantasy land. You need to wake up. This isn't even the same Conor, bro. This isn't the same Conor. That's why I can trash talk him. I've said this in my previous videos, but it's a different Conor McGregor. Not the same guy. Looks completely different. This picture isn't not even accurate of what he looks like now. He looks terrible now. Obviously doing fucking heavy drugs, partying every day, not training at all, maybe just hitting the heavy bag, you know, twice a day. And that's it. That's all he does. He's not going to beat anybody. It's time for him to retire. I think he's already, in his mind, he's already retired. So it's kind of pointless to have him in this video. But this is just to the people that are still fans of Conor McGregor, in quotation marks, because guys, hello, in case you're like getting offended because I'm talking about Conor like this, it's not the same Conor. This is an old Conor, a completely different person, almost completely different personality, no drive, no heart, no anything. Fair enough, the last fight against Dustin should have been a no contest because Dustin did not inflict the injury, but just even that injury alone, you shouldn't really be fighting after that injury. It hasn't worked out well for anybody who fought after that. So I don't know. I don't like the look of it. And I just think, dude, at least after the Chandler fight, I'm not even looking forward to the Chandler fight, bro. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. I don't want to see Conor laying on the canvas or some shit again. And I just hope he retires after that at least. Even if he gets a win, bro. If he gets a win, I can already see everyone's going to be getting hyped and saying, bro, give him the title shot. But, bro, what the fuck do you think's going to happen if he fights Islam, bro? Like, it's just, these people live in a fantasy land, man. But in reality, I don't think Conor is ever going to be the same, bro. He's never going to be the same. He's already not the same guy. He doesn't give a fuck about his career. And it's genuinely sad to see because I used to love this guy, bro. I used to love Conor, but he's not the same at all. And so, yeah, I think Conor retire. And, yeah, that's it. I mean, also, I'm going to end it at that. The video's over. But I want to say, if you are getting offended over me calling out one of these guys and saying that they should retire, please don't. Okay, it's a fictional video. It's a hypothetical video. I just genuinely think it's not going to go well for these guys in their next fight. So, sorry. Maybe, I mean, I guess I rule these guys. Like, I guess I'm telling them to retire. I'm just saying I think they should retire. I'm not forcing them to retire. I'm not fucking out there going to fucking shoot them in the head if they don't retire. So, relax. You can relax. And also, if you want to get smart with me in the comments and say, you're a fucking idiot, and Usman's gonna win, bro, just stop, bro, just let it play out and you'll see. But dude, it's not good for any of these fighters. I genuinely think they should retire. And yeah, I mean, I'll leave it at that. Let me know in the comments what you think. Leave a like, and yeah, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.